Down in Studio A, just down the hallway, Barnes Courtney, along with John Hart, right here live on the bridge.
And we are live here on the bridge with, I was just telling Barnes that from the minute we heard this record, it was like, can we get him in? Can we get him in? So, it's been a few months, but we actually got it done. Barnes Courtney in our studio today here at the bridge. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me in.
You know, if people want to find out more, they can go to barnescourtney.com. But really, the best thing to do if you go there to find more is just follow the links to other social media, because that's where all the good stuff is. I think that really the best place to do with you is just start with family life, because, you do have sort of music in your background with both of your grandfathers.
Yeah, how did you know that? Have you been going through my mail?
Something like that, yeah.
I swear I could have sworn I recognized you. I was like, he's that guy that's been going through my garbage early hours.
Yeah, that's it. If you've seen the little black car that's in the rearview mirror over the last few weeks.
Oh, right. It's a nice car, though.
Yeah.
Run a clean machine. My grandparents on both sides were singers in big bands in the war. So even now when I get... if I bring a girl over to my grandfather's house, he'll always pick up the nearest glass and sort of go, "You'll never know how much I love you."
Which is just lovely. But I do get the sense that even though you've got that in your background, it was really your mom.
Yeah, absolutely. You're very insightful. I feel like I'm laying down on a chaise lounge right now. Yeah, she's lovely.
Well, when did you start hating your mother?
Yeah, probably right around the time that she beat me with a rubber hose.
Yeah, no.
It's getting dark really fast.
Yeah, and I don't think that your mother actually did that.
She's so nice. Yeah, she's got a great sense of humor, and we always put on little voices for each other, and we'd sing songs and make up parodies. So I think it's been a very constant thing in my life for as long as I can remember.
Well, in fact, when she and your brother came to visit you one time, you didn't even get out of the airport. You just sort of sat down and started doing improv.
Where were you? How did you know these things about me? This is amazing. Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
Yeah. So it's just like you've been role playing, and you kind of always knew that whether it was singing or acting, that you were going to be a performer.
Yeah, absolutely. I think everybody's got those things within them that they know deep down is what they're meant to do. And so hopefully I was right, and I shouldn't have been like a carpenter or something else.
I think we all know the answer to that one after the recent record. I think that really your mom did set you up with this, whether she did it consciously or not. I mean, just your name.
Yeah, that was an interesting. I paid for that dearly in high school.
I'll bet you did.
Because my real name's Barnaby. So I was named after this 1970s claymation bear. A very effeminate bear that used to sing in the circus. And she never got over it. So that's my name now and forever.
The surprising thing about that story is I kind of love all that kind of stuff, and I was not aware of those. And so I went back and looked it up, and it's based on a French woman who wrote children's stories, and then got picked up by a Polish filmmaker who did these, and they were only broadcast in Britain for a short period of time. So she had to really fall in love pretty quickly with that character.
Really? Yeah, she watched it every day after she'd come home from swimming. So that was that.
Wow. So and then, I just really think that in a way it's like you were, I don't know if it was, part of this or not, but an anthropomorphic bear, you used to perform for teddy bears.
I did, yeah. I did. I'm a little bit scared now at the depth and breadth of your knowledge of my early childhood memories. These are things that I've only told in confidence to my therapist. And you have an encyclopedic knowledge of all of my
Google
deepest
is. I just live to show people what a frightening thing Google truly is, right?
No, it's actually really nice that you've gone to such an effort. This is probably the most in-depth interview I've ever done in my life.
So I guess if we can take you up to your teen years, which could be even uglier. But
yeah.
You get this setup from your mom where you're performing, you're doing improv, your aunt gave you a guitar, and then you get a record deal right out of high school. Pretty amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I think like everything, you need a little bit of luck. So when I walked into the Universal building for my first meeting with Mercury Records, I was wearing these white skinny jeans and these enormous like red boots, and it just looked absolutely ridiculous, like a post-apocalyptic douche, if you will. And anyway, there was this guy, Red One, who did all the Gaga records back in the day. He was kind of sat down and he sent his guy over to bring us over, and he said to me, I saw the way you walk into the room, and I said to myself, you look like stars. Thank you. So, we handed him a demo, and he was gone before anybody knew what happened. And we went into the meeting with Mercury Records, and they hated us. They hated everything. And we got out, and we got a call from this guy, Red, and he's like, I heard the demo, and I love it. I want to sign into my new label, 2101 Records, in conjunction with Island. And it was a terrible, I'm not even being modest, it was an awful demo. But he signed me purely off of the tightness and whiteness of my pants.
Well, there you go.
And that's how I got the opportunity to make music.
I'm afraid we're going to get all the great stories before we hear any music. Can you play something for us?
Yeah, why the devil not?
Little boy inside my chest, beat my heart just like a drum. Tell him I'll never forget how it was when we were young. 'Cause you and I, we dreamed a dream on the rug in '93. So tell him it's not over yet, I still got some fight in me. Whoa, I'm gonna lie low, smoke in my head, oh, lying awake in my hotel bed, oh, down in the valley, down on my luck, oh, darling, I pray something picks me up, yeah. Ooh, 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 I'll never let this go. I'll do this on my own. Little boy inside my chest, beat some life into my bones. I've been lost and wandering, down and out and missing home. 'Cause you and I, we dreamed a dream on the road with my guitar. So beat a little louder now, I can't hear you anymore. Whoa, I'm gonna lie low, smoke in my head, oh, lying awake in my hotel bed, oh, down in the valley, down on my luck, oh, darling, I pray something picks me up, hey! Woo, 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 I'll never let this go. Woo, 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 I'll do this on my own. And we never got too tired, and we never got too old. We just ran through the streets forever, arm in arm. And they said the sun was higher than it ever was before, and you never knew perfection like it was. Oh, I'm gonna lie low, smoke in my head, oh, lying awake in my hotel bed, oh, down in the valley, down on my luck, darling, I pray that you, oh, woo, woo,
Barnes Courtney on the bridge. That's the first time I've heard that song. They've kept a lot of your stuff under wraps here.
Yeah, I mean, it's been tricky to get it all recorded because everything's happened so fast, which has been amazing. But a lot of the record's been done on the road or in between promo and gigs. Same with the music videos.
Yeah. Well, it sounded great. Absolutely love that. So we're talking with Barnes Courtney, who is out doing a promo tour. So there's no show. Like if you're hearing this and you want to go show tonight, sorry.
Absolutely nothing. I mean, you come to my hotel room and I'll do some dances for you.
You're working it early, man.
I got one that I'm working on where I like make my hair into a couple of horns with the shampoo. My tour manager says I shouldn't show anybody, but I think it's ready to come out. This little dance I do with a bath towel where you just about see what's going on down there, but then I whip it round again.
Yeah, there you go. This is compelling stuff. This is really good.
It's groundbreaking. It's about time.
It is.
Maybe I'm a little bit too early. You just bit too much for people like Van Gogh.
There you go. I will say, though, that you do have a show booked in Lawrence, Kansas, opening up for Tom Odell on October 15th at the Granada. So people can go and get tickets for that. It's just a couple months away. You touched on that first record deal you had. And when I was getting ready for the interview, one of the things that struck me is you have seen both sides of the music business. You've seen both sides of that coin. And, the weird thing that sort of came into my head is that failure's more interesting.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that first record contract, in a way, while it was a heady experience, I'm sure at times, and a bit of a gravy train, ultimately, it was pretty problematic and difficult and really left you in kind of a bad place.
Yeah, and it took me a long time, actually, to get over, like, the bitterness and the upset. I mean, it was really difficult, and I was in a bad way for a couple of years. It's been weeks where I didn't really leave my bedroom because I couldn't get like a proper job, and I'd be on benefits in the UK, and my friends would come over and visit me and be like, "Dude, what's wrong with you? Just enjoy yourself."
Yeah,
but it took a toll on me, and
well, you wrote like 5 albums worth of material, 3 months recording it, and then they had you out touring for basically 3 years, waiting for the album to be released, and they never did that.
Yeah, especially when you're very naive as a young teenager, I think, and you have all these expectations, and you put all the work in, and then it's just not going to happen. And the way we found out was really hard as well, because we played this gig and the management didn't want to tell us we'd been dropped by Island until we played the show. We'd actually been dropped 2 weeks prior.
Wow.
And we just got off stage and we came off and they said, "We got to tell you that you're no longer signed anymore." But then, in retrospect, I think I've realized now that the benefit of failure is just so important. It's one of the most important things I think has happened for me in my songwriting, because I wrote so much, and it gave me this drive and passion that was 100 times stronger than I had before, and I really learned a lot.
And lyrically, I think I saw a quote, you said about 80% of the lyrics to the new songs are driven by that.
Yeah, the entire album more or less is about the drive to succeed and being defiant about the situation that I'm in. So I'm really grateful. Sounds really cheesy, doesn't it? Yeah, so, failure is just one of those things that it's really good for you. Everybody just needs to love each other. Let's all sing a song.
Yeah. But, it's sort of like, man, life is just hard. And I don't care who you are and what your position in life is. Life is just hard. And it's really, how you handle it. But, you finally get a job, and it's across the street from the hotel that record labels used to wine and dine you.
Yeah.
in. And you look out at the opulence, and, it's got to be tough.
It was, yeah. I mean, but it's all relative, isn't it?
Yeah.
I couldn't see that at the time, but it was difficult when I was in it. I remember, like, on occasion, because I used to sofa surf, and then my girlfriend at the time had a flat that she wasn't allowed to have anybody else in. That was a rule. It was like some kind of heritage thing in central London, really fancy. I was staying there, and we found out the landlord was coming back, so I had to get all my stuff out that night really quick and go and sleep in her car. And the next morning, her mom came down freaking out because she was worried the landlord was going to see me in there sleeping. She's like,
Barnes, I've got to take this. I've got to take this thing here. Take this duvet, and you've just got to go.
so I was walking around the street at like 6 in the morning in my computer store uniform, just kind of waiting to go to work. And the only place that was open was this hotel directly across the road. So I sat in there in like the same seats where I'd have these meetings, and just think, oh my God, what is my life? This is ridiculous.
So how, so you're at that point. How do you find a path?
Well, I think it's what we were talking about earlier. When something's so hardwired in you that you can't really do anything else, it becomes almost impossible to quit. So, given that it was anything else, any other job, I don't know if I would have had the willpower to keep going. But those kinds of experiences do fuel songs. So I was very productive during that time, and luckily it came through. So far, so good anyway.
Yeah, we absolutely love the music that we've heard so far, and there's more on the way. We'd like to hear some more right now if we could. Barnes Courtney in the studios here at the Bridge.
Coming out on yellow lights, I stumble on a Thursday night, oh yeah. Take a walk through dead-end streets, I feel the earth beneath my feet, oh yeah. So if you want to, we'll sing another, keep 'em sweet all through the night. I've been in love too, I've been a sinner, in the end we'll be alright. Ooh, 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 oh, my pretty reckless youth, these streets were made for me and you, oh yeah. Dreaming on your windowsill, you don't live now, you never will, oh yeah. So if you want to, we'll sing another, keep 'em sweet all through the night. I've been in love too, I've been a sinner, in the end we'll be alright. Ooh, 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 so if you want to, we'll sing another, keep 'em sweet all through the night. I've been in love too, I've been a sinner, in the end we'll be alright.
Barnes Courtney live here at the Bridge today. You can find out more at barnescourtney.com. He'll be opening up on October 15th over at the Granada in Lawrence. So, when you got ready to start making music again, when that thing just wouldn't be denied, I think this is maybe the weirdest part of the story. Well, one of your old bandmates invited you over, and you all started like recording in an abandoned old folks home.
Yeah. I mean, when the band broke up, we didn't have any money. So instead of moving home, my friend Sam decided that he would move into this government scheme where they stop properties from being vandalized by moving people in for extremely cheap rent. So he moved in there and he sold T-shirts to our dwindling fan base for money. And he used to live off a can of beans a day.
Wow.
I was like, Sam, you can't live off a can of beans a day. No, man, no, it's actually got all the ingredients that you need in it, like for your nutrition. And I looked it up. It actually does. Beans on toast. That is a fact.
Wow.
It doesn't sound like it's true,
No,
but it is.
No, yeah. Woof, woof. And he's got his own band, and he's doing his own thing now. So
Yeah. He's doing really well. He was in a band called Zebra. I think they just split up, but the new stuff he's doing is incredible. He builds all these synths out of like cabinets he finds out in the street, and he's self-taught dyslexic, but he just poured over these books and he puts them all together, and they're enormous, like big 70s style things. He just posted a video on his Facebook where he's taking them all into a church, and he's got a drummer and him playing. It's just amazing.
You know, the thing that really sort of kills me about it is that some of those early things that you recorded, like you didn't have drums. And yet, you know, the percussion's like you've got this drive in all your records. And so you just beat on whatever you could find at the old folks home.
Yeah, which was a happy accident. I didn't realize at the time how much of a difference just changing the percussion from a real drum kit to random stuff around the room would build the sound of the record, but I really like it. So it's a staple of the whole album now.
You know, I think it's safe to say that the music that you're recording now is quite a bit different than the stuff that you were doing when you had your first deal. And so part of this process was finding the new you. Couple of different versions of Fire?
Yeah, so I mean, in a way, I went in with a producer. I couldn't get anybody to produce my stuff because I didn't have any money. And I met a mutual friend in a hotel who'd worked a little bit with Jungle. I think he was sort of on the up and up. And I played him Fire on the acoustic guitar in the hotel because I didn't have any demos of anything. So we went in and we recorded a version, and the verse sounded great, but the chorus fell really flat. And he said, you know, man, this isn't really working, so you might need to write a new chorus, but I'm too busy to do stuff for no pay. And then a couple months later, I went and redid it with somebody else entirely. And the chorus sounded great, but the verse sounded terrible. So I sat in Starbucks for about 10 hours because I'm really bad at recording software. And I took these two versions and I tried to kind of just splice them together in such a way that you couldn't really tell they were two different versions. And the chorus of one is like 2 BPM faster than the other. And that is the version that eventually ended up being synced in this film, and that's on the radio now. I didn't even have a chance to record the second verse. I said to my management, "Can I finish that?" And they were like, "No, it's already out."
So I guess that it was a friend of yours or an acquaintance that found a way to get it into the hands of Harvey Weinstein?
Yeah, just this young guy, Seb. I met him outside the NME Awards. I was wearing, the jeans and the boots, so he thought I was somebody. He came, "Hello, Seb Fuchs." Man, I think he was like 16 at the time, and I was 20. So I had no idea. Just one of these incredible socialites that...
Yeah.
Yeah, and he called me up when I was working in the computer store and said, "Barnes, you'll never believe this, but Harvey Weinstein and Bradley Cooper have selected your song for the new film, and it's going to be absolutely fantastic." And,
yeah, it ended up in Burnt.
Yeah.
The movie about where he's a chef. So Harvey didn't really have a good picture for who you were, though.
No. No. Yeah. So the first time I met him, which was with my mom and my grandma, and he was introduced to me and said, "Oh, Barnes, I really thought you were going to be a 70-year-old black man."
But your mom and your grandma weren't nearly as impressed with Harvey as they were with Bradley.
Yeah, my mom particularly was all about Mr. Cooper. She was all up in his grill. My grandma, I think, was just completely overwhelmed by the whole thing. She lives in North Yorkshire, which is where everyone talks like how they do in Game of Thrones. Like, "You know nothing, Jon Snow," like that kind of. Although she doesn't. She's kept her decorum, her southern accent. Yeah, so she came down and she was surrounded by all these towering actors that are all drunk and on God knows what. And one of them came up to her and said, "You're like a little woodland creature, aren't you?" She's this tiny little lady.
I'm not like a little woodland creature.
This is all great. You know, the thing that's so amazing about this story is you have this first chapter where, you know, you work and you struggle 3 years, nothing to show for it, leaves you shattered. You don't even get the song finished after a 10-hour marathon session in Starbucks. It's in a movie. Suddenly, you're a success.
Well, I mean, so far, so good. Still,
Yeah.
Got some work to do before I'm a success. Because people on the radio would be like, who's a success? Barnes, I've never heard of that guy. But it's going well so far.
So, you know, the nice thing is that since you had that placement, it's like you have a better contract this time around, a little bit more control.
Yeah, no, that's been really nice, actually. Because the first record, we weren't allowed to. I remember saying to the producers, like, One Direction have more guitars in their record than we do.
Well, the battle was guitars versus synth, right?
They were like,
You can't have guitars on your record, Barnes. Nobody's playing guitars anymore. It's all about synthesizers.
and he's going to be furious if he hears that impression.
I don't talk like that. That's not how my voice sounds.
It is, though. You know, we wanted drums, and we couldn't figure out who to talk to get a real drummer in.
Like, why would you want a drummer when you could just program it like this? Look, you can hit these keys and it sounds just like somebody's playing in the room.
So that was hugely frustrating. And this time around, I think they were a little bit scared when I said I wanted to make the record in my friend's bedroom with filing cabinets and old film reels and stuff. But they let me do my thing, and it's been really fun.
Good deal. So, you know, once this all gets into place, then the machine starts, and I'm assuming that your life has felt like you're just in a centrifuge ever since. 10 shows at South by Southwest. You played on Conan O'Brien. And you know, maybe the one that would give me the biggest heebie-jeebies was just guy with a guitar, Wembley opening for The Who.
Oh, that was terrifying. Oh, my God. I was shaking like a leaf
Yeah.
Backstage. And but there was this really nice woman back there, and she was sort of talking to me. She's like, "Don't worry about it. You know, just go out there. You're going to do your thing." It's like, yeah, okay. You're going to go out there. You're going to smash it. Yeah, all right. And she gave me a little pat on the ass, and which is really nice. Went out and played the show, and that was Pete Townshend's wife.
Yeah. Okay.
Never washed these cheeks since. She's
man.
lovely. They were really nice, actually. And Pete was really, really nice, too.
Excellent.
It was amazing. I couldn't really comprehend the situation I was in until a few days after I'd done it, because it was just too overwhelming. And I was like, oh my God, I just played with The Who. But to think that he's had that huge career and that he'd take the time to come over and speak to me and my family was really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't always get that. I think that there are a lot of people who've done entire tours with Bob Dylan who aren't sure that he actually exists. Could just be a hologram. You know, we've seen it before. But it's just lovely that you take the time to come in and play for us again. We'd love one more song if we could.
Yeah, cool.
Lonely shadows following me, lonely ghosts come a calling, lonely voices talking to me. Now I'm gone, now I'm gone, now I'm gone. And my mother told me, son, let it be. Sold my soul to the calling, sold my soul to sweet melody. Now I'm gone, now I'm gone, now I'm gone. Lord, give me that fire. Lord, give me that fire. Lord, give me that fire. Burn, burn, burn. Oh, 1,000 faces staring at me. 1,000 times I've fallen, 1,000 voices dead at my feet. Now I'm gone, now I'm gone, now I'm gone. And then rolling thunder clapping at me. Rolling tide, come a rolling dice, so dance at my feet. Now I'm gone, now I'm gone, now I'm gone. Lord, give me that fire. Lord, give me that fire. Lord, give me that fire. Burn, burn, burn. Ghosts and devils come a-calling, calling my name out, lost in the fire. Sweet virgin blood is calling, calling my name out, lost in the fire. Lord, give me that fire. Lord, give me that fire. Lord, give me that fire. Burn, 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 yeah. Lord, give me that fire. Lord, give me that fire. Lord, give me that fire. Burn, burn, burn.
Barnes Courtney on the bridge. That was spectacular. That was so much fun.
Oh, that's awesome. It's been really good to be in your studio. I was not expecting all of these lights. This is great.
Well, you know, the video for that song is you in black leather in the desert, so I figure you can handle this.
Yeah, that was a bad time for me.
And then they make you run, too. I mean, you're running.
Oh, that was so stressful. We went out with these video guys, and it was between gigs and promos, so we had maybe like half a day to shoot that whole thing. And they had this plan how they're going to do it, you know, like close-ups of the boots and this and that, and there was going to be a story. And none of it worked because we were in the desert and we didn't have a steady cam. So the camera was just shaking all over the place. And one of the video guys had a nervous breakdown. He's like, I don't know how I'm going to do it. I'm not sure what's going to, I don't know what's we're not going to have a video. He was really freaking out because there's like 100 degrees out there.
Yeah.
And the only food and water was in this tiny little hut, like a couple of miles down the road. And it was all like, you know, oven baked, sort of pre-made chicken meals and stuff. And so we had to improvise, and I said, why don't we just put the camera in the back of the car, and then my tour manager, Leon, maybe will help us out, and he'll just drive down the road, and I'll just walk and sing into the camera, and at least it'll sort of be more interesting than having nothing at all.
Yeah.
And oh my God, the locals, they were all looking at us and all these, you know, dogs barking on chain link fences. And this guy even pulled up behind us and was like, shut it all down, shut it all down. So it was like everything was against us for this video.
It works, though. It's a pretty good video. Really.
For what it is, yeah. Eventually, I'd like to reshoot it and actually have some substance behind it, because I have another video where I just walk as well. One radio station commented that my feet must be quite tired from all these walking videos.
Well, you know, it's like people can just take one look at the way you walk and they know that you're a star.
They're like, that guy looks like he's been walking like that all his life. And I have.
Just waiting for you to pull out the white pants again. Barnes Courtney is our guest. You can find out more at barnescourtney.com. New music coming. Hope to have some more stuff on the bridge here in the next couple of weeks. And if you want to check him out live, your next shot is at the Granada in Lawrence on Saturday, October 15th with Tom Odell. This has been such a pleasure. Thanks so much. We appreciate it.
It's been a lot of fun.
All right, Barnes Courtney on the bridge.